welcome back to Evil's Comics. This guy right here is Evil Mike, or Mike if you prefer, and I got a review for you today. Today we're going to be talking about Image Comics' Blood Commandment, issue number 1. It is written, art, and colors by Szymon, Kudrañski, and then letters by Marshall Dillion. Before we get started on this review, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. I am trying to hit 1K eventually. I'm getting real close. Hit that bell. You never know when I'm going to be dropping videos. It'll keep you in tuned. Since I don't have a schedule here. But anyways, let's get started, right? So we start out with this little cutscene, and I want to say this is, you know, after the story's taking place. We're sitting down with the sheriff, and he's basically kind of being hesitant on writing a report kind of thing. The book jumps over to a, you know, a mountainy wooden area. I don't know if they ever tell us where we are. As far as location in America, but it's a father and a son, we basically the main characters, and they're out on the hunt. His son is teaching him how to hunt and kill. The two main characters is Ezra Connolly and his son Will. At this moment, the son ends up missing the shot, missing the deer, and the deer gets away. They end up stopping for the day, and as they go home, Will, the son, he tells his dad that he missed on purpose. That he didn't really want to kill the deer. He knows that they needed the food to eat, and the dad mentions that no, you know, as long as you got the principle down. He was like, they recently moved out here, and he's trying to teach his son how to protect himself as far as like wilderness is concerned. There's a lot of wolves and bears and that kind of thing, so his dad just wants to, you know, get him on that kind of wheel set, but not necessarily the kill part. They do need the food, but his dad mentions that they can go into town kind of thing and get some food. But he does say that the greater message was him telling the truth, that he missed the deer on purpose kind of thing. And on that note, they end up going home, eating dinner. There's some conversation between, you know, his dad and Will about like him getting a license and going into town. His dad just mentions that it's not time yet, that they recently moved there due to some personal background stuff, which we don't go into too much, but they do mention that Will's mother, you know, Ezra's wife, has recently passed away. There's conversation about like what happened, you know, with his wife's death, and that's kind of shrugged away by the dad, and they end up going to bed, talking about going into town to get more supplies and food, that kind of thing. So they do end up going to town, and they go to this Dewey dollar store. It's with this this Dewey guy that they happen to know. I will say this is the first weird thing in the book that we see, but Ezra, our dude, he looks at the, you know, Dewey, the clerk, his neck really weird. Let's just say that, right? I didn't know what to think of it at first, but after you get to the end of the book, it kind of makes a little more sense. But basically, it's just, you know, conversation between the clerk and Ezra and the boy, and you know, they're just stocking up on supplies, that kind of stuff. Eventually they leave the shop. As they leave the shop, you know, our dude Ezra kind of gets a smell of something that it doesn't really, you know, something weird or something. He looks around, nothing's really there. He ends up leaving, and they show this shot of a widescreen of the store, and there on top of the store you can see like the silhouette of a person. He just didn't look all the way around kind of thing. So they end up going back home, they get some burgers and they're eating, and then this conversation happens, and it's very wordy. But it's a big one, and it's a good one. But it's all about, you know, faith and where do we go after we die. How does his father know this to be true, or, you know, and it's all about belief and faith and, well, you know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's basically the gist of the conversation. So we jump back over to the Dewey Dairy's dollar store for some reason, and we're about to find out why, you know. But it's that obviously it's that guy that was lingering around the store, on top of the store. But we get Dewey, and he's closing up shop, you know, and he manages to hear something and grabs his shotgun, starts going around the store looking for whatever it is, telling him that he has a legal right to shoot him, you know, blah blah blah. But basically, as he's creeping around looking for, you know, whatever made it into the store kind of thing, they never really show what did creep out. I want to say the one scene where I managed to see something was right here. and you can kind of see behind Dewey that it's not too clear what it is. They do show the scene with like an up close, image of an insect, but I don't think it's an insect type of guy. But it could be, I don't know. So anyways, we got Dewey, he's searching the store. Eventually he goes into this back room. It's this weird scene. Honestly, this scene did not make a lot of sense, because he goes in there, he's looking around, and then we get this. I don't know what's going on here. It's just the art. I don't know if he's being strung up, if he's being grabbed by something and pulled up. I don't know. It wasn't clear enough for me, and the rest of the pictures that go with it didn't. It just shows that Dewey's not there anymore, and the store's still there, kind of thing. So we go back to Ezra and Will. Will's sleeping, and we get a little bit, pretty much the main gist of the story at this point, because Ezra, kind of tells us through narration about this, he's being torn between two worlds. That's why he's come out here to the woods, is to keep it, under control. He talks about like detox and that he's tried to, control it using detox, and he's almost died. He compares this to a drug, and but eventually they show this picture over here, and with the title and everything they've shown us, I'm having to lead that our dude Ezra is a vampire, and he moved out to the country to hide and, possibly, control his vampirism. Now, I don't know if it's vampire 100%. I was kind of thinking werewolf at some point. But the fact that they showed the vein part on Dewey kind of led me to believe that this dude is a hungry vampire. So they just, he goes back out and he finds that deer that his son missed while hunting. He ends up killing him, and then he ends up going back home, for the night. As soon as the night is done, Will wakes up in the morning, and his dad is cooking this massive spread with food everywhere. Will kind of points it out. Hey, where'd you get the food? And his dad mentions, hey, we got food for months. We're good. I went out hunting early this morning and was real successful and stuff. They managed to go outside, to get like a breath of fresh air. And as they do, Will looks down and he finds a cigarette butt, and he asks his dad, when did he start smoking? His dad starts sniffing around, tells Will to grab both of the rifles, load them, and stay inside. And it even has back pages, but we see that, and this is the back cover, which is pretty dope because this is the last page of the book, but we see that the last scene is basically Erza looking around, and he basically goes back inside with Will, but that's where this issue leaves off. Fantastic. I loved it. I'm already a fan of Szymon, his writing, his art. I wish that one scene was a little bit clearer. The whole rest of the book is, or maybe I'm just not seeing that image right. I don't know. Let me know down below if I'm missing somewhere. But I thought this was great. I hope we get more clarification whether it was vampires or werewolves. But either way, I'm a fan of it. I'm loving this, especially with the name Blood Commandment. The whole cover image, what they're showing us, this vampire trying to keep his son safe. What? I love this story. But let me know down below what you thought of this book, of this series, this review. Anything you want to tell me, whether you think it's werewolves, vampires, or maybe something else entirely. Maybe it's a demon or a ghoul or something, I don't know. But guys, this is my review of Blood Commandment. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like button. Share this out to your friends so I can eventually hit that 1K mark. But that's all I got for you guys. Bye.